Hey guys, day 5 of 3-minute marketing transformations. You've made it. Congratulations. You know what? I'm probably going to send you something in the mail with like a stamp of approval because this is a really big job. This is really important, especially as you're focused on and wearing so many hats inside your business. It's a huge responsibility to take on the idea of marketing, and so I appreciate what you're doing, and I hope that you do too. Today we're actually going to be diving into my computer screen and see how I build out campaigns for the clients that I work with on a regular basis. So in just a moment, we're going to transition from you seeing me to you seeing my screen. Okay guys, we're going to go ahead and dive into building a campaign, and today I have created an ad account for a nonprofit organization that my agency and I have been able to be working with and help out. We've been able to really be blessed and work with a number of nonprofit organizations that have been just absolutely fantastic to work with, and they are, it's just a joy to be able to share that knowledge. Anyways, we're going to be going through and making a campaign for a client that we have that actually is just a nonprofit that we're helping out. And right now what we're going through is there is what's called a quick guide, the quick creation, and then there's the, I'll go ahead and leave the page and show you what it looks like. This is more for people who know what they're doing in their marketing campaigns. And then there's people who are a little bit more beginners. I would suggest you go to the guided creation. It's going to start you off with some very basic things. First of all, I want you to point out the objectives you should not use. Don't worry about messaging. Don't worry about lead generation. Don't worry about video views. Probably don't worry about app installs. Probably don't worry about engagement, catalog, or even store traffic unless you have a store at location. Probably not going to worry about brand awareness or reach at this point. There's really going to be basically two things I think that you're going to use: traffic campaigns and conversion campaigns. You may also use, for example, a video views campaign to get more people involved, but that's a little bit more complicated. Today we're going to start talking about traffic and conversions campaigns. If you're pushing people to your website, if that's your goal, to get more visits, then likely what you'll start off with is a traffic campaign. It may be better to do this because if you don't have the Facebook pixel fully set up, or if you haven't set up standard events correctly, then the traffic campaign will perform better and get you lower cost visits to your website. If you have everything set up and if you have the Facebook pixel set up, or even if you don't and you're not sure but you have the Facebook pixel on your website, you should try running a conversions campaign. It might actually already be able to automate and set up everything for you. So today we're going to go ahead and select the conversions campaign. When you're naming your campaign, name it something that is generic, right? So fall sale conversions, right? Boom, done. Okay, great. For now, don't worry about doing split test and don't worry about campaign budget optimization, although this is something that we will probably want to do down the road. We're going to go ahead and run this and set that up, and it's going to be, okay, this one I need to add some credit card information, so it's asking for some information from me. Let's see if we can go ahead and skip through that. Great. Okay, so the ad set. The ad set is where you add in the targeting information that we talked about in our last video. So this is things like males, females, age, gender, location, interest, all of those types of things. So today what we're going to do is we're going to do something very simple. What we're actually selling for this company is jewelry. So we're going to go ahead and do jewelry, and then we're going to do, we know that it's going to be women, so we're going to do women. Let's split it up by age range. So we're going to do under 30. We're going to do 20 to, let's say 35. And then we're going to do another ad set, which is 35 plus. Okay, so we have the Facebook pixel all set up on our website, and we'll be able to use that. But right now, the events you can tell are not set up correctly. That's okay. We're going to go ahead and go down into our audiences, and we're going to select the audience that we want. Now, this is where you would upload things like an audience list or an email list of people who have already purchased from you to be able to get and match to either the same people or a new audience, which is called a lookalike audience of those people. And that's a great way to be able to get started right off the bat with audience demographic targeting that it's very simple and easy to target. But since we don't have that for the client, we're going to go ahead and move forward to the selection we want to make. So we've already selected it to be 20 to 35 for this audience. We want to do women only because it's jewelry brand specifically for women. We don't mind it being English, Spanish, or really anything else as long as you're inside the United States, which we have. And then from there, we're going to go into other demographic targeting. Now, this is where it can be a little interesting. We want to find women who are interested in shopping, but who are also interested in nonprofits. So maybe what we say is this specific nonprofit is a Christian ministry. So maybe what we do is we look for evangelical. See if we can pull up anything, or if I'm even spelling that right. Evangelicalism. Okay, so great. So there's 45 million people that are in evangelicalism. So that's a huge number just inside of the United States. And then we're going to add something as well. We're going to say people who are interested in jewelry. Some women, come to find out, actually aren't as interested in jewelry. And so that's an employer. We don't want that. We don't necessarily need job titles of jewelry, but we might want someone who's interested in jewelry. Okay, great. So we're going to add that as well. Now you see that our number of potential reach has reached 48 million people. That's because we have these two different audiences. Now, if we want to, we could say they have to be interested in evangelicalism, but they also have to be interested in jewelry. So we're going to go to interests, and we're going to see how that number changes. That number went down to 32 million people. Now, that's a huge audience. That's too big, really. We want it to be probably between 1 to 5 million people in our audiences, depending on how much you're selling, how much you're spending. But that's generally a good rule of thumb. So we probably want to narrow this down even further, and we're going to think about how to do that. We're going to go ahead and click. We're going to let that do its thing there, but we're going to also think about other things. Let's say nonprofit. Let's see if that pulls up. They're interested in nonprofits. Great. Okay, we're adding some people. That's okay. Let's say donations. Let's see if donations pulls up. Donation. So there is an interest in donation. Interestingly enough, I'm not exactly sure what that is, but let's see what that does to our number. Okay, great. So I'm actually gonna, since it's a smaller number, I'm gonna use that over here as well. And now we're narrowing it down even further. Let's see here. You see it's kind of playing with it to see what we do. Okay, 9 million people. That's not bad. That's a pretty good range. So we're going to go ahead and stick with that 9 million people, though. Even though we could probably refine it a little bit more. You get the drift. There's a lot that can be done there. I typically leave this here because it's generally works well for Facebook. If you wanted to, you could include people who like your page, or maybe even exclude people who like your page, depending upon why, or maybe if the people who like your page have already bought, or maybe have seen it too many times. For now, go ahead and do automatic placements. That's going to be the easiest thing for you. We are going to do conversions because that's what we're trying to get. We're trying to get people to go to your website to make a purchase. And we're not going to worry about any of these costs or controls or cost caps or anything else. But we are going to set a daily budget. Now, a daily budget works better typically than a lifetime budget because you're able to optimize it. You're able to understand how much you're going to spend every day, and in general, it works better. Lifetime budgets can spend up until the end of that campaign, and then all of a sudden ramp up, cost you a lot more money, and not perform as well. So we're going to go ahead and stick with a daily budget, and it's going to be $5. We're not going to do a heck of a lot. Leave all this other information, 7-day click. Don't even worry about it. Move on. All right, so now we have created a campaign, we've created an ad set, and now it's going to ask us to create an ad. We are currently setting up the page for Mercy International. So for now, we're just going to use our Cone Creative page as the page that we're going to run from, even though we would want to be selecting Mercy International as the page to do this from. And in the ad, this is where you're going to talk about jewelry versus other ads or types that you're going to say. So I'm going to say jewelry, video, A, right, or 1, right? So this is the video 1 that we have for these videos, and it is going to be a video. Awesome. Again, don't worry about instant experiences. These are distractions. Keep moving forward, and this is where you're going to go ahead and add your media. So I'm going to go ahead and add my video. It's going to ask me to upload something. I'm going to see if I have it in my downloads folder. Great. Now, as that's uploading, we're going to go ahead and move on past this. We're gonna write down the text. Okay, something like that, right? Not a bad ad copy and not a bad thing for very quickly to go. Talking about the paid points, telling a little bit of a story, telling about what we need from them. Now this headline down here is something that shows up at the bottom of the ad. So we're gonna go ahead and say, we've created the ad, we've built the copy, we've created, oh, there we go. Now you can see the headline, Mercy International, 0.3 cents per meal, feed the hungry today. I needed to add that URL in order for them to verify and make sure that it worked. But that's really good looking, right? Like you have an ad that looks good. It will be branded with Mercy International here and not say Cone Creatives, and it's good to go. And this is something that's very simple and easy to set up. We have the Facebook pixel, so we're gonna confirm. It may find some errors. That's because I need to set up a couple things differently. But you can see over here on the left-hand side, the campaign objective we selected was conversions. We created, well, that was an ad account, but we created the ad set, which conversions, dynamic creative, offer, audience, placement, budget, schedule, all of these things that we've done. Now we've added the media, we've added the copy, we've added the links. Now what we would do is we would go back through and we would create another ad set in this campaign that would then target women who are older than the 20 to 35 age range. So we would go 36 plus. We go 36 to 65 or whatever we want to do to be able to get an accurate, well, I would say an accurate representative. So maybe we want to just do 15 years or so. But we would do something that would give us an accurate representation so we could learn which one does or does not perform well. But look, this is a beautiful looking ad now. And we're able to see this in multiple different formats, see what it looks like and all of these different placements that we're going to have. And make sure that the text that we use works for converting people so that when people do click on these things and they see this or they're scrolling through and they see this, that they get the point that they're going to be able to feed the hungry quickly. So this video went a little longer than 5 minutes, but I want you to know, and I wanted to dive in a little bit more in depth on what and how we create these campaigns so that you understand there is some simplicity to it, but there is some complexity to it. You want to take some time and write those targeting down. You want to build out an ad creative ahead of time. You want to have some copy written or thought about, or maybe just spend the time when you're building the campaign that you can't spend in the 5 minutes that we're talking about this, and be done with it. Okay guys, thanks so much. This was exciting. I was happy to be able to build out these campaigns for you. And I want to tell you about a couple things. First, we have a digital marketing agency. If you feel overwhelmed even by the content that we've provided you today, it doesn't have to be the end of the world. Contact us. We'd love to be able to give you a free audit. That's one of the products that we have. We have an ability to give you an audit that's really a comprehensive look under the hood of what's going on in your business, and it gives you the tools and the answers to understanding what you need to do, right? And how you need to fix the things that are going on in your website. That's one thing. If you want to make designs and you realize the ad fatigue is bothering you or killing your campaigns, that's something we do as well. We have a design service that's a standalone design service that, you know, I have worked with and made over $100 million in donations and in sales for companies that are of all sorts of different types and niches. And I'd love to be able to help you. So those creative pieces, that brain work that I have and that my team has, is available to you if you're interested in signing up for our services as well. And then the final thing that we have to offer for you is a coaching service. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, you want to have discussions about your digital marketing campaigns or your websites, or maybe even your old school marketing campaigns of how you can attribute, and that is look at where the conversions are coming from those newspaper, print, and other magazine buys that you have, or mailers even. We can help you understand and attribute where those sales are coming so that you can get better results moving forward. So let me know. We're going to put those links below. If you're interested, great. If not, please don't worry about it. You're already signed up for a complimentary email series, and that will be coming to you, continue to come to you with more updates down the road that will be applicable for you and your business. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you more soon.